First up, we have Manila to Hong Kong, November 4 to 6, Eva Air. And 230,196 pesos. Next up, we have the ferries, Hong Kong and Macau. Next, ferry, Hong Kong and Macau. Macau ferry, 1,265. November 6. For 4 person, 5,060 pesos. Next up, we have the hotels. Name of the hotel in Hong Kong on November 4 to 6. We have 4 adults and 2 rooms. For 3-star, I choose MK Stay or formerly Hotel MK. 4,055.5 per night. In 2 nights, we have 15,894.6. Next up, Macau naman tayo. November 6 to November 10, 4 adults pa din and 2 rooms, 3-star pa din. And I choose the Holiday Inn Express Macau City. That is 8,118.9 per night. And for 2 nights is 64,951.2. For 5 nights pala yun siya. And the car rentals in Hong Kong, pick up is in MK Stay or Hotel MQ on November 4 to 6, 2 nights. Honda Jazz for 8,411. Total for 2 days, 16,822. Next up, we have the car rental for Macau. And the name of the hotel is the Holiday Inn. We have the Holiday Inn. On November 6 to 10 for 4 days. Toyota Vios for 2,640 per day, and that includes 10,560. For the next, Next up, we have the tours and experiences naman tayo. For Hong Kong, first activity is the Fan Sanctuary. That is a Thai spa. $4,352 per person. For 4 person, the next activity, we have the Peak Tram Ride. 2004. That activity is on November 6, 2004 per person, and for 4 person naman is 8,016 pesos. Next activity, we have the NP360. That activity is on November 4, 2,999 per person, and the 4 person is 11,996 pesos. Next activity, we have that activity is on November 5, per person is 278, and for the 4 person is 1,112 pesos. That is Homantin 18 challenge. Next activity is the Lantau Island. Check-in availability is on November 5. 5,602 per person, and for 4 person is 22,408 pesos. For the next activity, we have the in Hong Kong Cultural In-Depth Tour. That activity is on November 6, 1,828 per person, and for 4 person, 7,312 pesos. Next is the activity for Macau. First is the Open Top Bus Night Tour. That activity is on November 6, 1,107 per person, and for 4 person, is 4,428 pesos. Next activity for Macau is the Macau Sightseeing Day Tour. That activity is on November 7. For adult, 4,746 pesos, and for 4 adults is 18,984 pesos. Next activity for Macau is the Go Airborne. 4,041 pesos per adult, and for 4 person is 16,164 pesos. Next activity in Macau is the November 7, 2,470 per person, 988 for 4 person, and that activity is on November 7, and that is called the Zip City. Next activity is the Macau Hop On Hop Off Open Tour. For that activity is on November 9, 1,205 per person, and for 4 person is 4,820 pesos. Next activity for Macau is the Macau Sightseeing One-Day Tour. That activity is on November 9, 4,403 pesos per person, and 17,612 for 4 person. For the next activity, we have the Macau International Golf. 4,388 per person, and for 4 person is 17,552 pesos. Next, we have the Studio City Spa. For 60 minutes, 10,099 pesos, and for 4 person is 40,396 pesos.